Hey everyone, Micah here from Cali Raised LED. Today we're going to be installing our 2010 and up Toyota 4Runner rock sliders. These fit all models, including the ones with the KDSS system on it. What you're going to get in your kit is the 2 sliders. Then in the box it's going to come with your hardware, 2 mounting plates, 2 clamps, then an info sheet with a QR code that you can scan, as well as a decal for you. The tools that you're going to need today are a 13mm socket and wrench, 9/16, as well as a 3/4. It'd be helpful to have an impact wrench with you as well. Now we're ready to get started with the install. One thing of note before we get started is we want to make sure we get our washers on the bolt correctly. So the first one that you're going to put on is the lock washer. So that can slide on, then the flat washer, and then it'll go in through the frame. So first things first, we need to remove the 2 brake line brackets from the frame. All right, so now that we are wanting to install these, we need to get it up on the frame, and then we just need to get 1 bolt on towards the center, and we just need a few threads just to get this up on there, and then we can start getting the rest of the bolts. It's usually helpful to have some jack stands or a friend help you do this. Now that we've got that first bolt in, we're just gonna start getting as many bolts as we can in. We don't wanna tighten any of them yet. If you do that, at the end of it, you might find that some of these bolt holes don't line up anymore. So we're just gonna get a few threads on each bolt, get them all in there, and then we'll go over the tightening sequence. In your hardware kit, you're gonna get 2 longer bolts. These ones are gonna be used for the holes that the brake line brackets have. One thing to take note on these rock sliders is there are gonna be some extra holes on your frame plates, just because there's different models of the frame, different holes in different places for different years. So if you have some empty holes with nowhere to put a bolt, don't worry about it. It's for a different version. Here's the hardware you're gonna need for the inside of the passenger side. You're gonna have your bolt, then a washer, then your aluminum spacer, then a clamp, then another washer, and then a lock nut. Let's go see what it looks like on the truck. All right, so the way that we need to install this, we're gonna put the bolt in one of our washers. We're gonna put that through the hole. Then we're gonna put our spacer through. Then our clamp. And it could just be leaning outside the truck. We don't wanna lose it inside the frame yet. Another washer, and then the hex nut goes on. Once that hex nut is on, you can go ahead and spin this into the frame. We just wanna make sure that we didn't lose it in there accidentally. And then we can go ahead and tighten that up at the end like everything else. So now that we have all of our bolts in our frame plate, it's time to start getting them tightened up. One thing to note as you're doing this is we just want to make sure that the rock sliders are level and lined up as we're going along. So as you're tightening these up, just keep on making sure that this is level and it's pressed up against the frame as much as it can be. The holes are all slotted for the most part, so there's a lot of play in these. It's easy to get them, up and down a little bit. So just verify as you're going along, tighten these up, that it is level. All right, so now that we're done with the passenger side, we're gonna go ahead and move on over the driver's side. Basically, strategy is gonna be exactly the same. You're gonna get it up on there, get a bolt in, thread it in a little bit, then just find the rest of the holes, get all those other bolts in. Only big difference are these 2 frame plate mounts. I'll go ahead and show you these once we're about halfway through how to get these done. Only other thing other than that is the skid plates. If you have a factory skid plate for the gas tank, ours is gonna go below it. But if you have one of our gas tank skid plates, ours is gonna go above it and the skid plate will go underneath it. So let's go ahead and get started. So now we're gonna get our frame plate mounts installed. Basically, these holes on the frame plate match up with the hole that is on the mount. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get the bolt started against the frame. So now that we got all the bolts slightly in, we're gonna go ahead and tighten them up while making sure that the rock slider is fully level and pressed up against the frame. All right, everyone, that concludes our installation of the 2010 and up Toyota 4Runner rock sliders. Please visit www.caliraisedled.com for all of your off-road accessory needs, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.